to own umbrellas. There are cases of an incident at Ife that a wealthy man many years ago owned an umbrella, and they found out he owned an umbrella and he was killed because it's only the king that was supposed. So we can hold it now, but at the time, it's not something every one of us have access to. The value of a bottle of gin in Badagry was 10 human beings. You see one of such bottle in the show glass. Okay, the value of the big cannon gun was in Badagry because the prices varies from one place to the other. In Badagry, the value of the big cannon gun was 100 human beings, the small cannon gun 40. But what amazes me in all of this is that it is not the people here who actually determines the value. It is the people who are coming that determines the value. And it's still the same thing today, because many countries have petrol, they have oil, but they are not the one who determine the price of the oil. That is why it's falling, it's falling, it's falling. But you must understand that the country that have oil will control the world. But now the prices are falling and like it's useless. But how come USA have reserve that could last for more than 400 years? They have reserve. Now, we Africans and some places, we are selling out our own oil. We are just selling, we are interested in the money, but they are buying. Have we ever wondered why they are buying? And now the prices are falling, it will become useless. But a time will come that you may have to be buying again from them. And we are not thinking about it. And even now, we are not the one that, there's OPEC. Who controls OPEC? So they determine how much. So you own a product, but you cannot determine how much you want to sell your product. It happened during the transatlantic slave trade, and it is still going on around the world today. The ceramic bowl, the value of a ceramic bowl in Badagry was 10 human beings. So when you get inside the first room, to the left, you see our own clay pots that are still standing. Unfortunately, Africans don't even value what they have. And the Europeans, those slave merchants, when they come, they're interested in African beads, but they came with coral beads. But the coral beads were very cheap where they are coming from. Okay, so they're interested in ours that is kind of useless to us, but they go with it. But over there, it is very, very expensive. So they came with the mirror. Okay, they came with the gun. The value of a Dane gun in Badagry was 40 human beings. They showed us the power of the gun, and we were so excited. Now, let me quickly tell us this because of my brothers and sisters from US. I have friends from Jamaica. Now, I'm not saying this to bring about strife, but you must understand that the narratives you've heard, a lot of them are not true. So what you hear from me is from the African perspective. When the Europeans came many years ago, they learned about the slave trade from the Arabs. The Arabs have been here. Now, my pastor, I want you to listen to this. The Arabs were here for over 1,400 years. And before the European merchants came, now some people told me, they said, don't say European merchants, because it was not all Europeans that were involved. It's true. It's not every one of them. But what name will I call them? But European, okay? So, before the Europeans ever began the transatlantic slave trade, the Arabs were here over 1,400 years. The European slave traders understudied them. They came and they were here for about 400 years. 1,400 and 400 years makes how many? That's about 1,008, approximately about 2,000 years. So within that time, people were afraid on this continent. There was nothing productive around that time because there were fear in the hearts of people. People were running from one place to the other. You cannot sit down and think. Mentally, something happened to us. And when you study the politicians here today, I think it is still as a result of that, because I can't imagine why a local government chairman or the governor or a senator will steal so much money and will buy a big house in England or in New Zealand, money that 10 generations can never finish. I think something is wrong with them mentally. Seriously. I think it has to do with inferiority complex. Definitely. Because they are afraid of the future. So 2,000 years, for about 2,000 years, nothing was going on. It was only fear. So, my pastors, you need to understand this. We need to break all this. The mind, we must educate the mind. So much to do with the mind, and they say the fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. Now, wisdom have levels. There's wisdom, there's understanding. Understanding is the advanced stage of wisdom. We need that understanding for us to progress. So in our churches, we need to talk about all this because something happened here. Do you know what it is to be a slave in Mauritania? Now, this is 2020. There are still slaves in Mauritania. Who are the slave owners in Mauritania? The slave owners in Mauritania are the Arabs. Who are the slaves in Mauritania? They are black people that look like me. For real. And when you go there, it's easy for you to know who they are. They are very timid. They are a nobody. So, when we talk about slavery, unconsciously, unfortunately, I'm not saying it's in our DNA, because if you have God, you have everything, and you are free. But when you look around, at times we act in certain ways, and I can't imagine why we act that way. But now I know why we act in some ways. The Arabs were here, and the Arabs were more terrible. They were more terrible, and nobody is even talking about the Arabs. No. There are some tribes here that information about some of those ethnic groups here, the Europeans got them from the Arabic texts. So you must learn how to read Arabic for you to get some information, because they were here before them. They were here 1,000. Imagine they were here 1,400 years. And today, look at the Arab world. Look at Asia. Just name one important man that is black there. And we have them there. Do you know there are black people in Iraq? There are black people in Iran that are Iranian, that are Iraqians. They are there. But nobody recognizes them because of the caste system, like the one that is being practiced in India. It's all over those places. They don't recognize them. Slavery was abolished. Somebody asked me yesterday, and I go, when? I don't like to hear that word. When was slavery abolished in a particular place? No. All the years you heard about the abolition of the slave trade were only on paper. It was only England who really tried. And not because the government of England want to try, but it was because of the Christian. And it was also because of the abolitionists in those places. Because some of them have relationship with these black people. Some of them have them as former slaves, give them their freedom. And someone that was their slave became like their own counselor, became like their advisors. So they know these people are like us. They're even more intelligent than us. Yes. You must understand what transpired in the past. This man is the case study of Serica Abbas is just for us to know that what we are talking about is not a fallacy. It actually took place. It's happened. Okay? So we go into the slave cell, and anything you see, you ask questions. But before we go, we'll experiment. It's small. Bring the small. I need 2 volunteers. Okay. I want from our visitors.
Okay, never mind.
Our visitors.
We are from America.
This mama could cry.
That's all right.
So let's create a space in here. Let there be a space. 2, okay. Our visitors. Okay. Visitors? You are free.
Yeah.
No, please.
Okay. No.
Let pastors. I volunteer.
Okay. Now, let me tell you something. No. You can say no now that you don't want to experiment with it. You may have your reason, but you must understand at that time, you don't even have a choice.
Yes. Yes, but we have a choice now.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have a choice. It was for everybody.
Yeah.
So, this is called the ankle shackle. They lock 2 people together with this. It's called ankle shackle. So, here, they put the padlock around here. So they lock it from here. And there'll be an European behind them with the horse whip. And they're supposed to be walking with this around the ankle. The reason why they came with this was to prevent them from running away while walking on the farmland, because the farmlands were usually very large. It was for them to monitor their movements. So,
can you walk with that?
It's not coming outside.
You learn to
No, you can't. Yeah, you'd have to learn to do it.
If you say your ankle is huge or is big, it comes in sizes.
Let me speak.
So let's check the barrel. So 40 human beings in the first room, another 40 in the inner room. I told you, say Keba's Kurina, right? I made a copy of one of his handwriting. This is what his handwriting looks like. 40 human beings here, another come in.
40 human beings in this room.
So that's the only opening for ventilation to come in. The only opening for ventilation. I told you the value of a ceramic bowl was 10 human beings. And these are the ceramic bowls. For a ceramic bowl.
40 human beings in this room. Wow.
Yeah, and those are the balls that they
A
use
bottle
to
of
purchase
gin.
them.
A bottle of gin, 10 human beings was the value. So the Germans were also involved, but they were among the first Europeans who didn't want to be associated with it. But this is an evidence that at the time they were involved. You can see this was a gift from them. Yeah. Okay. So let's go out so that others can. What the heck?
Okay, move.
It's hot already.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Just imagine pouring
Please move. The rest can
Go in.
Did you hear when he said that was the only?
Yeah, ventilation they have. The only ventilation they have.
That used to be on the head of his horse.
Excuse me.
Oh, you tired, eh?
Oh,
There's always been a monkey here.
I wish you were in the woods.
I wish you would too.
He's been here since 14.
Okay.
Bye-bye. I think it's the same one.
He only has one arm.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Oh, what a terrible life.
very true. Bye-bye, monkeys.